Hello friends! So one of the first things you're going to encounter in Baldur's Gate 3 after the Nautiloid crash is going to be the Emerald Grove. There you're going to find the Druids and the Tiefling refugees who are not getting along at the moment. Now in the game you can side with the Druids, the Tieflings, or the Goblins, and a mixture of combinations. But in this video, we're going to focus on the secret influence that the Shadow Druids are having on the Grove at the moment. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like lore videos, gaming content. I do upload quite frequently and would love to have you. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful or if you enjoyed it. The first person you're going to be talking to set off this entire chain of events is going to be Kagha, who is, at the start of the game, the first Archdruid. Halsin is missing, and you will hear his name pop up a lot. This quest doesn't have a whole lot to do with Halsin though, because he is not in the Grove at this time. We find out that Kagha is behind the ritual that is currently taking place, known as the Rite of Thorns. The quest line, it's gonna start after speaking with Kagha privately, and there are these little rats that are surrounding Kagha that have names. You can talk to them, but they don't really talk back to you, which is a little odd, so just keep this in mind for later. You can go back and talk to Zevlor, and you'll get a quest to basically assassinate Kagha, and before you do that, I would highly suggest actually searching around the Druid chambers. If you go into the servant's chamber, there is a bookcase that one of the Druids seems to kind of be guarding. Every once in a while though, he will exit the room and go and speak with the other Druids, and when he does, you will be able to go behind the bookcase and you'll find Kagha's chest where she is hiding a note and a book. The book does give you some context as to what a Shadow Druid kind of is, what their beliefs are, and then the note actually starts and kicks off the Shadow Druid quest. Before kicking off this entire quest, I do recommend going off to the side here in the forest. Upon succeeding a perception check, you'll see that there is a Druid stone door that you can enter that leads you into this cave / cavern area, and in this area you'll want to go straight into turn-based mode so that you can turn off the Ruin of the Eagle. That way it doesn't immediately start blasting fire at you. And the reason why you want to go in here is because there is an injured Druid who is surrounded by goblins. After you fight the goblins, you can approach him and heal him. His name is Findal. He'll thank you and he'll immediately go back to the Grove. He will be helpful later. Now, you're going to get the quest marker showing up on your map over here, kind of where Auntie Ethel is. And it is optional, but if you break the spell surrounding this area, you will see that it is a nasty swamp and not these beautiful wetlands. And this kind of helps with understanding what the Shadow Druids are like. You're going to have to do a lot of jumping and skipping in this area. And the battle is not too easy, but it's also not too difficult. So make sure you're around like level 3. That should be perfect to take out these mephits and these tree guys. The mephits I always try to kill first when they are the furthest away from you, because when they die, they do give off an AoE of mud, which can make the rest of the battle slow and difficult. After you've killed the enemies in this little area from across the river, you can go around to the back side of this tree trunk, and you will perceive a little nook inside of the trunk where another note has been hidden. After you've taken the note and you've read it, you will now get this updated quest marker to confront Kagha about the fact that she is working with the Shadow Druids. Once you're back at the Grove, you'll want to immediately go back to Kagha and confront her. You'll get this new dialogue option. Now that you've confronted Kagha with the truth, she will openly talk about it to the other Druids in the room, as well as the 3 weird rats will actually show themselves and reveal that they are Shadow Druids, including Mistress Oladan, who wrote the original notes. After revealing themselves, you can try to side with the Shadow Druids, but unfortunately they see your meddling as an immediate aggression towards them, so they will not let you side with them at this point. You can, however, try to persuade Kagha to turn away from the Shadow Druids and to backstab them by ejecting them out of the grove. It does take a couple of perception checks, and you do get disapproval from Astarion, so if you're trying to romance him, this might not be the path that you want to go down, but you do get approval from Karlach either way, whether you choose to fight her or you choose to persuade her. If you do manage to persuade her, you will have her in the upcoming battle against the Shadow Druids, as well as the other non-Shadow Druids in the building. If you are unable to persuade Kagha, or you choose to just outright fight her, she will fight with the Shadow Druids as well as 2 other Druids in the building, the 2 most vocal against the Tieflings. Now, the reason why I suggested getting Findal is because the fight is a little more difficult without an extra person on your side. You do have 1 Druid as well as Silver the Wolf, but it does make the fight a lot easier when you have Findal, that second Druid, helping you. Kagha is not easy to take down. She has a lot of health and she does do a good amount of damage as well as poison damage. After you've dealt with Kagha the way that you have, there's a lot of different interactions, all of them unique depending on the decisions that you made with the other Druids as well as with the Tieflings. I do prefer taking out Kagha because she's got some good gear on her and it is just a little bit more fun to the story. Halsin does have a reaction if you let him know that you've taken out Kagha, so it just adds a little bit more to the game. This is a fun little side quest line that kind of answers a lot of questions about Kagha and her character. It also gives you a lot of insight on how she was being led down a darker path and why Halsin from the beginning didn't see her tendencies, but she does try to kill a kid, so dispatching her is a little more justified. But I hope that this has been helpful and that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll talk to you all on the next one. Bye!
Oh, then come get it!